Afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Innes. Very nice to meet you. I say that in air quotes, I guess, because I won't be meeting you in person, but perhaps we will check in on Blackboard Collaborate at the midterm with a video chat. We will also be sharing different types of videos throughout the semester, so hopefully you'll feel like you get to know me and your classmates just a little bit in the short time that we're together. I wanted to introduce myself formally, but also take you through how to navigate the course. So I'll start with the master slideshow for the course. Every time I need to share slides and give you some information, I don't even call it a lecture because I'm not going to record myself talking for 30 minutes. That's insanity. So I'll just give you a few things that you will need to learn the material and to work toward the writing of whatever pieces we're working on. And then you'll always have access to these slides throughout the course so that in case you need to go back to them, you certainly can. There's a tab on Blackboard for them, but I'll walk you through all of that in just a second. So to start, as I said, this is the master slideshow, and my name is Dr. Ennis. And just by brief introduction, my background is in K through 12 education. I started out as a high school English teacher at Wagner High School in Louisville, Kentucky. I was there for almost 10 years before I went to work for the district in JCPS. And I coached teachers. I then decided to take a sabbatical and finish working on my doctorate, which is in English through Murray State University in Western Kentucky. And my family and I relocated to Chicago for 6 months and then Columbus, Ohio for 6 months for my husband's job. So I finished up my doctoral work while I was out of town and then came back and started working for various colleges. I also teach at U of L and sometimes Bellarmine, sometimes Murray. So I just kind of pop around. Normally this summer I would be traveling all over the country to train teachers, but I will not be doing that due to the coronavirus. I actually tested positive for the coronavirus and have had 0 symptoms, so I'm under quarantine. Hopefully everybody who's enrolled in the course is doing okay. If you need something and you think I can help you, please send me an email and we will do everything we can to keep you on the right track or get you withdrawn or whatever it is you need to do. We are very flexible, especially given the current health crisis. That said, I have pretty high expectations for you. So in a course that's accelerated like this, you're going to have to meet deadlines. Normally, I have a little more wiggle room, but we just don't have it. This is too short of a course to get behind. So, first of all, how are you going to know what my expectations are? Of course, the syllabus. So, we're going to check out the syllabus on Blackboard shortly. You do have the course schedule in both the syllabus and in a separate tab so that you can easily refer to it to find out, what is it that I have to do this week? What's due? When is it due? Where do I put it? All going to be on the course schedule, but the syllabus itself is extra important. And so I have created a very short 9-question quiz for you to take on that syllabus. So be sure that you read it. Now, I would suggest printing it just because then you'll have it in front of you when you take the quiz. That said, you can take the quiz as many times as you need to get the best score that you want, hopefully 100%. One of the questions is worth 2 points. That's why there are only 9. So we'll check that out in just a second. But in general for this class, the prerequisite is English 101. So you should have a good idea of what that course is all about. And in this one just simply follows that course. So all the things that we do in English 101, like argument and rhetorical analysis, and research are amplified. There are more pages to be written. There's more in-depth work to be done with sources and documentation, MLA format, so on. So the things you need to know about this course. First of all, when it's called composition, English composition, and what that really means is you're composing something. That is not type out a final draft the day before it's due or the night it's due, hit submit at 11:58 when it's due at 11:59, and then put it to rest and never see it again. Composition is a growth process, and so you will have to turn in drafts and you will have to get feedback, give feedback, and then respond to the feedback and actually make changes. If you do not, you will not get all of the points for the class work. So just make sure that you recognize early on that you've got to do this in stages. I'm going to force you to do it in stages for your grade, but I'm only doing that because it is the only way for you to grow as a writer. You're going to receive regular feedback from me and your peers. So you should have a very clear idea. As long as you're turning things in on time, you should have a very clear idea of where you stand at all times in the course and what you need to work on. You can revise every major writing assignment for the course, so there are 3 of those, except for the final exam. And the only reason that you can't revise the final is it's a reflection and you're going to get all the points for it as long as you turn it in on time. Also, I have to grade things and turn in your grades, so I don't have time to go through the revision process on the last one. It's a personal reflective piece, so shouldn't need to be done anyway. For grading, you have to turn in all writing pieces and all parts of them. So if you don't turn in all the writing pieces, then that actually could indicate a failing grade according to the syllabus. Now, you just simply cannot pass the class if you don't turn in the major writing assignments. It just is not going to happen numerically. So that has to be done. It's non-negotiable. You must also review and respond to any feedback you get. So it's built into the course, not like you have to remember to do it, but that's an essential part of the grading and counts for your weekly classwork scores. You have to participate in class every week because something is due every week. This is a short course. We don't have time to mess around. So there's none of this oh, I'm not going to log in, or oh, I'm going on vacation. No, you're not. First of all, it's coronavirus. No, you're not. Second, it doesn't matter if you're on vacation because this class is online and that's not a valid excuse for missing any work. So make sure that you understand you have to commit to this process in this course. And if you can't do that, I encourage you to drop it. Take it another time when you can do that. We will have a midterm conference. So at the midpoint of this fast semester, I will encourage you to look at your grade, and then I will give you some opportunities to meet with me if you're having an issue. This should be done before you can't withdraw from the course anymore without penalty, so it will work out. Should be just fine for everyone. But in the event that you wish to withdraw after you've looked at your midterm grade, you should be able to do that without penalty. And then finally, the reflection that you do at the very end of the course is going to allow you to make a case for what grade you deserve, even if it's not the same grade that's in the grade book at the end, either up or down, and it will be up to me to decide whether I agree with you, but you essentially get to make your own argument for that with evidence. So there are no exams. I keep saying final exam. There's no exam. They're final papers, essays, actually, since we're not writing on paper. You only have one quiz, and that's just a quiz over the syllabus. So we have enough tests in every other class. They're stupid. So no tests. This is a writing class. Some tips. I would log in every Monday. I will make every effort to post all of the announcements that you need on Sunday, but ultimately the calendar is already in there. So you should log in on Monday, make sure there are no announcements for you, and then get to work. People who do this consistently earn A's in this course. I know it because I can check and see when you logged in. Take advantage of email and office hours when things get crazy. I posted an office hour that I'll be available every week, but you can just email me and then we can set up a time to either talk on the Blackboard Collaborate, which is a video chat, or we can just email back and forth. Things will get crazy, particularly with the state of things in the economy right now. I just know it. Okay, so you make sure and be in contact with me. Also, make friends with your classmates. Whenever you see things on discussion boards or journals or whatever it is, you can talk with them, learn something about them, read their posts. You're going to see very quickly who participates a lot, and those are the people you want to reach out to if you have a question or if you just like an extra set of eyes on your essays. It's really hard to collaborate authentically when you're in an online course, but it is possible, and I've built in some ways that you all will do that throughout the semester. Finally, turn everything in on time. I don't even care if it sucks. And I mean, it could be halfway finished. I'd rather you turn something in than nothing. And I know that's hard. It's something you have to tell yourself in your brain. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. That is a mantra for the course. Things you need for class. You need the textbook. You do need it. It's not optional. It has readings in it, and these are going to serve as examples in a lot of cases for what you're going to write. So you do need it. You can promptly sell it back or not. It's very cheap if you get a used copy. Make sure you get this particular edition, though. There are many editions of it, so it should look like this. You definitely need reliable computer access. You cannot take an online class without it. You will need a journal. Now, journal, it could be a document on your computer. That's fine. If you prefer to write stuff, write it. I'm going to talk to you about how it's best to write notes out for this class because normally you would do that in class, with someone in front of you talking to you and sharing information with you, but that's not the way an online course works. So I will explain that in further videos. YouTube, you do need YouTube access, but you don't have to have an account. I will post everything, which this is what you're watching this on my own YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to it, and then every time something new comes, you'll get an alert. Also, you have to have Microsoft Word. Not Pages from Mac, not something else, not Google Docs. You can type in all of those things, that's fine, but it has to be saved as a Microsoft Word or a PDF file. So you get Microsoft Word free with KCTCS email. So you can just Google that, free Microsoft Word KCTCS, and you will find it. Get it done. That's one thing you need to do early on because I don't want to have issues with submission of essays where I can't read or open a file. So I'm sure now what you want to know is, okay, well, what is due? How do I know? So now I'm going to take you out of the slideshow and take you over to Blackboard. So my path looks a little different than yours probably, but it's generally like this. And then once we're in Blackboard, which I have to sign in because I have multiple Microsoft accounts across multiple universities, so give me a second here. And once you're in your account, you're going to want to open our course. It's thinking. It really wants to do what I say. Once you're in your course, some things to notice. Obviously, this is the home page. Really nothing on here except for kind of your calendar items and such. But instead, you want to first go to announcements, which is why I said start here. Now, right now, you will not have any announcements until I post this video. Then there will be a new announcement. I am going to try to make every effort to hit the send an announcement notification now, which means it should go to your email every time I post an announcement. There should be one every week, maybe more than one every week. It just depends on what's going on. So do check this first before you get into anything else on here, just to be sure there's not a new announcement. The syllabus is under this tab, so you can download it here. You can then take the quiz here. That is due, the due date is posted, and it's also on your calendar. You can take it as many times as you want to get it finished, but after that it's closed and you cannot take it late. It's worth 10 points. Also, the course schedule, and this is really the most important thing for how do I know what to do. It says tentative because if I find that we get far behind or something like that, I will adjust it, okay? But if we're on track, then we're on track, and we will just do it the way we should, the way it's posted. We may have to collapse some things, and that's fine, but I'll figure it out. So what you want to do first this week is, like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I'll post an announcement about with a link so you can go to it. And you're obviously watching this video or you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Then you're going to post to the discussion board with an introduction. So I explained a little bit about my educational background. You can talk about your educational background, where you're from, what your family's about, what your goals are, whatever you want. But I have given you some things you have to do at minimum. You can always go above that. You're going to get one 10-point possibility for your post, and then commenting substantively. Now, what does that mean? That means you have to actually use complete sentences and proper grammar. That means you have to actually refer to something the person said and build on it, ask a question, share something that's similar that you're thinking about after you read the person's post. It can't be, wow, great, nice to meet you. That's not substantive. So that will get you another 10 points. The due dates are always going to be over here under what's due, where's it due, and when is it due, and for how many points. So everything that you need to know about where it goes and when it's due is all over here in this third column. So this week, for example, you're going to go to, according to this, right, the whole class discussion board, just here, and you will see this. It gives you all the instructions about how to do it. In order to create your own post, you have to hit create. You have to actually click on this and then create a thread. So that'll be like responding. You will not be able to see anyone else's responses until you've done yours. So you have to remember that if you get in there and you don't see anything, it's because you either are the first person to respond, or it's just because I have a setting where you have to do your own before you can read others. That way, just keeps everybody honest. So that's one thing you need to do, along with the syllabus and the quiz. And then after you have read through some of your peers' posts, you can post a response, and you'll just hit reply to that person, just like if you were doing a message on social media. Other things to note on Blackboard, writing assignments will be posted here, and this will actually be where you turn them in. Units, on the other hand, is where you will find information about each of the essays. So first one is a narrative argument, and we'll learn more about that. There'll be a video in there. You'll have supporting documents in there. You'll have information about your readings in there. All of that goes into this one folder. And then when we're done with that assignment, we move on to the annotated bibliography. You move on to that, and so on and so forth. You don't turn anything in the units folders. This is all stuff you need to complete the actual writing assignments. Then you'll turn it in to the writing assignments tab, or whatever you want to call it, on your navigation bar. Then if you'd like to email anybody, you just simply go to email peers and Dr. Ennis. If you need me, then you can choose instructor. You can also just put single select users, and then you can find my name and send an email that way. You may see an email come from me from Murray State, and that's only just because I have lots and lots of email accounts across different universities, and as long as we are not sending emails from a personal Gmail account, we're in good shape. As long as it's an edu.edu email address, it doesn't matter which one it comes from. If I have to share anything about grades or performance in the course, it cannot be addressed to you on a personal Gmail. It has to be under your institutional account, and that's a FERPA rule. Check your calendar. So this calendar shows everything that's due and when it's due. So this is a nice thing to just check up on in case you're wondering, about when things are happening. You'll see here I have some things, but these are different classes for the final spring calendar. Not then your all's first assignments are due on the 24th. And finally, my grades is where you can see how you're doing in the course overall with assignments. Something that you'll notice is when I give you a grade on a writing assignment, you may have a little blue comment bubble over here under grade. that is where you'll see my feedback. You won't see it unless you click on it, so make sure you do that. And then if you need any help with Blackboard, you can click that, but it's pretty crazy and hard to figure out. So if you need help with that stuff, you can just ask me. All right, so that's about it for this little video of introduction. So I look forward to reading your discussion board posts and getting to know you as best as I can in this short amount of time that we have together. And send me questions that you have on email, or you can post them on the discussion board as well.